Following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in the mornings on Main Street for this beautiful Wednesday, January the 19th, 2022. Look, we are over 60% done with the worst month of the year, and there's some more wintry weather moving in tonight. But right now, I-40, west of Festus, you guys looking good today coming into town. You know my secret, I told you, when you're coming into town in the far left lane, that way the on-ramp people, they'll jam up those far two right lanes in the far left lane. Next thing you know, you're cruising on in, man. Yeah! All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into Mornings on Main Street. There you are. Good to see you. Fun show for you today. A lot of positivity, good things that are happening. Our good friend, the magician Jason Michaels, joined us at 7:30. A few weeks ago, we had thank you, buddy. A few weeks ago, we had an organization in Rutherford County that helps out single moms with helping pay bills, with maintenance, with prayers. It's a really great organization, and they got a big event that's coming up in a few weeks. We want to help promote that for them. They do such great work. And then in about 10 minutes, probably my favorite story so far of 2022. What do you do when your dream calls? All right. What do you do when your dream calls? Do you answer the door, or do you say, oh, man, I was just kidding? Well, we got one young man who answered the door and fulfilled his dream, and it's only the beginning for him. It's a great story. We'll have that for you come up in just a little bit. I was bringing the intern this morning, my good friend intern. Do you have your snow tires on? Do you have the chains around your snow tires?
Yes, everything is there. I don't know what that is, but I actually don't know what snow chains are for tires. Could you explain it to me?
Well, it's where you put chains around tires.
Right, that's what I figured, but I guess that helps you get through.
Yeah, it gets you get through when you're going through the ice and snow and the chains, and then you take the chains off, and you can do CrossFits with the sleds. It's multi-purpose.
I would just feel like a fool walking in Home Depot being like, hey, where y'all's change that?
But would you ever feel like a fool stuck on the side of the road?
That's true.
I've always wondered how the chains get on the tires, because that's looks like it'd be laborious.
Oh, I know a good
hard work.
I know a good chain guy.
Do you? Some guy up here in the parts of Lebanon that you hang out with? All right, so intern, you're counting down 3 days away from the Titans game.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. Seriously, I don't even care what the weather's going to be like. Rain.
I'm hearing it's 35 and sunny. Temperatures into the 20s at game time.
That's perfect for fall time.
Which is fine, because 2 years ago in the state, we were all in Kansas City watching the Titans play the AFC Championship game, and our temperature got to 20 during the game, but we had to do the 10 o'clock news that night, and we're in the Arrowhead parking lot, and it was 8 degrees. So I'm not saying, look, poor, pitiful Joe, but I am saying poor, pitiful Joe.
Right. Yeah, I'll retweet that.
You feel sorry for me?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't anymore, but I did for a second.
Well, I don't need you to be that way. All right, it's time for a little Main Street headlines for you this morning. Thank you, intern, for taking that full. Headlines from Main Street Nashville coming hot to your inbox this morning. You can subscribe, delivered right to you every weekday, and it's pretty cool. All right, story last night, Vivian Jones story. The council advances a license plate reader pilot program. Take that pilot out of there. It has nothing to do with the airport. So they're going to advance. It's not done yet. So if you might see that in, Wilson County has the same thing, Mount Juliet, where they run the license plate number, and not a lot of times, but sometimes they'll arrest bad guys and bad girls for stealing cars and everything. And so they want to have it here. People are up in arms about this. Here's the thing. Don't be a bad guy. Don't be a bad girl. I don't have to worry about it. Fine. I'd want somebody stole my car. I'd want to get it back as soon as possible. So there's a story right there from Vivian Jones. And I hate this headline here. I hate it not because it's bad, just because it is bad, but in a different way. Mom on a mission after son's fentanyl death. We see far too many of these. This story about Ashley Perham that's in the paper today. Far, far too many of these. And it's an excellent story by Ashley and one mom trying to make the right from the wrong. And so God bless her and her mission to do that. The Betty White Challenge we had on yesterday, we talked about our friends at New Leash on Life up here in Lebanon. National Humane got $54,000 donated to them. So I don't care if you give the National Humane, Metro Animal Care, Cheatham County, Dixie County, New Leash on Life, as long as you gave, fantastic. So well done, everybody, to get that in for the Betty White Challenge. We'll keep that going each and every year. Hey, our podcast. Look, we have special people on our podcast. We had Rick Byrd a few weeks ago on the official 615 podcast. And Rick Byrd, Belmont announces leadership program in honor of Rick Byrd, Hall of Fame Rick Byrd, by the way. This story that affects me, that's why I'm going to talk about it. Metro curbside recycling to resume on February the 1st. I've been having to take my recycling over to McGavock High School, where we see friends over there, and we talk about what's going on. And so it's up my social output just a little bit. But thankfully, be back on the February the 1st, the recycling win. I know, first world problems. I get it. This story makes me mad in the paper today. Former TJ Martell executive charged with embezzling $3.7 million. All right. How did she not think, allegedly, all right, I'm not going to say whatever because that's going to read the report here. Criminal information filed Tuesday charges Melissa Goodwin with wire fraud in connection with a scheme. Authorities say she embezzled over $3.7 million. How do you think you're not going to get caught?
I don't know. Maybe after your first million, you think you're going to
I mean, you pull up, and I have a brand new RV, and I'm pulling my Ferrari. Right. Like, Joe, where'd you get that? I'm just working hard. I mean, this took things away from kids fighting cancer. Shame on you, Melissa Goodwin. This is terrible.
$3.7 million. That's a lot of money to take away from anybody.
And then when you read the article, you get even more mad because you're like, how did she do this? And why are you doing this? And what do you think you're getting away with this? And it's just crazy. $3.7 million. I don't know. There's a special place for people who do that, man. Stealing's wrong anyway, but my goodness, taking all that $3.7 million, intern, I better not see you in this paper.
No, I'm just
for anything.
I just sold my Ferrari.
I do not want to see you in this paper. I told you we love the history, and this is the front page of the Nashville Banner. This day, 1977. Remember, this is a day before Jimmy Carter is inaugurated as president of the United States. And there's an article. I shouldn't laugh, and I'm not going to, but I'm going to. There's an article in the paper, in the front page of the Banner. A streamlined Elvis Presley due here today for work on an album. Elvis Presley, the king himself, expected in Nashville today, weather permitting. The slimmed down singer will be here for 8 days recording an album in one of the city's suburban studios. Unfortunately, the king would die 7 months later, and he was not slimmed down, 42 years old. Read the article. This is pretty cool. Elvis had not been here in 6 years because he expressed displeasure with Music Row and turned his attention toward Memphis, his hometown. He was like, look, man, I just don't know about Nashville. I go Memphis. And so I want Cord Memphis. I'm slimmed down. Jenny Craig. And so that's pretty cool to see that. Right, intern?
Oh, definitely.
You don't care.
No, I like Elvis. I'm a huge Elvis fan. Who isn't?
Well, yeah, exactly right. Everybody should be an Elvis fan. I mean, he redefined pop culture.
He definitely did.
Told you he's the second most important man in the 20th century. Second most. National Predators in turn lost last night to Vancouver 3-1. Take a guess how many games they've lost now
I'm gonna guess that they lost
in a row. How many games in a row have they lost?
3.
4. Come on, man. Pay attention to things. We'll talk more about the National Predators in a few moments with our young friend who's pursuing his dream, which is a great story. All right. So in my years of covering things in sports, nothing I've ever covered has been as loud as this. The TSSAA Bowling State Championships are going on in Smyrna. You want to see passion. You want to see fun. You want to see cheering. You want to see tears. You want to see absolutely chaos. Go to the TSSAA Bowling State Championships this week in Smyrna. Tyler Palmatier with a great story in the paper today about the teams, what to expect, who's going on, why is it in Smyrna. Nice job, Tyler, getting that and putting it together in the story because it is a lot of fun and it is loud down there. And just see the passion for the sports and everything. So cool. Last night, yesterday we had Justin Hershey on from Vanderbilt, the editor of the Sports Hustler, over the editor of the Vanderbilt paper called The Hustler over at Vanderbilt, and talked about no students last night. Well, UT beat Vanderbilt 68-60. And I will tell you that they had shots last night, ESPN did, of Tennessee fans sitting in the Vanderbilt student section. That would drive me. I'm not even a Vandy or UT fan. That drives me nuts seeing that last night. Crazy last night. So they won. UT won 68-60 to move on. By the way, National Predators back on home ice Thursday night, taking on Winnipeg, and hopefully they'll stop that 4-game losing streak. Is that right, intern? 4 games?
Yes, 4 games. 4 games.
Look who's in the paper today.
Oh,
I mean, it's that.
You in there again?
It's my story about Ralph Emery. Read it. It'll take you down memory lane. Thank you, Ralph. Okay, intern. Let's read your horoscope today. Taurus. Intern, if you just now joined the show, intern is kind of like a young lady over at Subway, and he's scared to ask her out. So here's this. We promote him and give him confidence that he can make this next step. So intern, your horoscope today is changing your mind too much will send the wrong message. So if you ask her if you want to go bowling or the movies and bowling, she might say, you know what? You're too wishy-washy. Right. Consider what you want and act. You'll gain respect and people will trust and believe you. Follow your heart and do your own thing. Subway doors will open. Are you kidding me?
I love eating fresh.
Are you kidding me? Make sure you see our friend this morning, 11 o'clock. Oh, is she feeling better, Devin?
I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't checked in with her today. She definitely wasn't yesterday, but I think she is feeling a little bit better. She's feeling better.
Yes, her birthday was yesterday. So the Big Sister to our show, Devin O'Day, tune in at 11 o'clock every weekday for Main Street Today. Excellent show in the middle of the day, all positivity, really good. So Devin, hope you're back today. Hope you're feeling a lot better. All right, time for our favorite segment, Comic Strip Tease, brought to you by
Possibly You.
Today's cartoon is one called Zippy, which I've never heard of until about 15 minutes ago. All right, so playing the role of the other guy is the intern. I'm playing, my character today is Belle Mead Man. Who are you going to be?
I'm going to have a Russian accent.
Oh, this will be awful. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. Hey, in order to appear smarter, Claude, let's pretend to play chess.
It is checkers except with taller and bigger pieces.
Or is it like Yahtzee, where we each fill in 13 category boxes?
I feel like I'm getting smarter by the minute.
How long do we have to keep this up before our IQs have been improved?
I saw that in this could go for 4 or 5 minutes or more.
I just lost interest in Bitcoins, Mom. Does that mean we can stop and listen to old Mort Saw albums? Finish it out. Are we done?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, we good. It even fell apart on us. We're good there. All right. You missed the last part of your thing, man.
Sorry about that.
I hear us.
I know. All right.
Last line. Just read it to get out of here. We got a guest.
I could have began to play an Animal Crossing at this time.
Oh, that is terrible. It's now 7:13. Our boss is watching. Oh, expect a phone call. Intern, tell him I called out sick today. All right, get the screen out of here. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We're talking about Max Hers. A fantastic story. It's my favorite story so far of 2022. Again, what happens when the dream knocks on your door? Do you answer or do you go back to bed? This young man answered, and it's fantastic. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
And they've got an e-reader, which is just, for people like me, I have grown up with a newspaper holding it in my hand. I really like that experience. But the e-reader or the press reader that Main Street has, you get to see a front page. You get to see the business stocks. You get to see all of that. But if you see a photo and it's got a little icon on the bottom, when you see that icon, that means there's a gallery there.
I love writing and journalism just on its own, and I think I learned that during the pandemic because I was covering all kinds of non-sports related things and still having fun with it, still finding out a lot of great stories. But when you can combine something I'm already interested in, have a lot of knowledge about in sports, I feel like I'm really able to combine two of my passions at the same time, and that's really rewarding for me.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. That's I-40, 46th Avenue coming in from the west side. You guys are doing great. I love this. I love it. Traffic looks good. Nice commute. You guys are beautiful. Welcome back into Mornings on Main Street as we get you as we get you off and going today on what should be a fantastic day. Weather-wise, but you know what? It's still good. We're still going to have a lot of fun. All right, let's bring in a good friend of mine right now, Max Hers, to the show. Max, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Joe. It's great to be on with you.
Thank you. Did you enjoy the comic strip tease?
Yeah, can you read every single one?
I can, for a price afterwards. Okay, for those joining us now, Max is a budding broadcaster. You've done a lot of the MyTV30 football games. You've called baseball. You've done everything. And your goal is to be a play-by-play broadcaster, which we know is not easy to get into. So, Max, last week, you got a call that you were going to fill in for Pete Weber, who was out sick, to call Preds games on the radio. Take me back to that moment when you got the phone call. Did you think you were being punked?
Well, as is the case anytime we talk to our good buddy Chase McCabe, there's always a chance you're getting punked. But no, I didn't. I had, since really the offseason, Willie Donick especially had been telling me, like, hey, whenever something happens with COVID, I'm going to be fighting for you to be our fill-in, which was great of him to be so preemptive about that. And I picked a good time, I guess, the couple of weeks before this happened to start reminding people about that, with it being obvious that COVID was popping up again, players were missing games, and maybe a broadcaster would have to miss a game, and it ended up happening, and I couldn't be more grateful for, first and foremost, the radio station where I work every day, and then also the team where I don't work every day for trusting me and taking their recommendation.
All right, so then you got the call. It's all good to go. You go to the arena. Tell me what it's like 5 minutes before you go on the air to call an NHL game, because I got to tell you, this doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, it was definitely a big adrenaline rush. So I love hockey. I grew up watching a ton of hockey. The existence of the Predators is part of the reason. I think Nashville is the type of city that I wanted to be in when I was deciding to come here for college and deciding to stay here, just because of the fact that having an NHL team in a city like this really opens up a lot of work opportunities for someone like me, just because I love the sport. So one of my favorite moments in any sport is, I guess two favorite moments is warm-ups in hockey, half an hour before the game. The fact that as much of the team on the ice happens before the game starts and you get to watch that, and it's high energy, it's full speed. I love warm-ups. And then I also love when the two teams come out basically at the same time. And seeing a team like the Predators as often as I can, which I don't get to go to more than 5 to 10 home games a year usually.
Right.
But it's always like somebody else is coming out of the other tunnel. Like, who's it going to be this night? It's somebody from the NHL. Who have I not seen? I hadn't seen the Buffalo Sabres in God knows how long, probably 10 years in person. And they're not even that good. But it's great to see a team come out of the tunnel. This is the team we get to see tonight. We're at an NHL game, and just being there was, like I said, a huge adrenaline rush. It was a full crowd both nights, and I was excited, obviously. But once the game started, even though I haven't done a ton of hockey play-by-play, it just kind of put me back into my natural play-by-play pace.
Right.
And really settled me down, because it was, at that point, it was just another broadcast, just a different sport and a different level.
Fantastic. We had a picture of you right now with you and Howard Gill before the game. It's funny you bring that up, Max, about getting to the game, because I remember asking Dan Thomas over at Channel 4 about doing weather coverage in severe weather. I'm thinking, man, there's a lot going on. He's like, you know what? I am focused on the moment of what's happening, and that's what I've been trained for years to do. And I was like, you know what? That's right. It's a great way to put that. And you're explaining the same way too. He's like, once you get into the game, it is just another even though it's the NHL, but it's still another broadcast.
Yeah, it totally was. And the biggest thing was, especially for that first game now 8 days ago, last Tuesday, I just needed to make sure I knew everybody's name and number, because hockey is so fast, and it's different from football, especially high school football, where I feel okay going into a game if I don't know everybody's name and jersey number by heart on a high school football team.
Right.
And I'll learn them as the game goes on. But if there's a pass that goes up in the air and somebody catches it who isn't a regular, excuse me, I have COVID, if you can't tell, by the way. So on the tail end of it, but
ouch, man.
Of course. I have time to look down and see whose number that is, what that player's name is. And in hockey, just because it's so fast, I don't have that luxury. So you can actually see in that picture what I was holding. I got to the point where I was really not looking down at that at all,
right,
to get names or anything like that. But preparing for the Colorado Avalanche is different than preparing for the Northeast Eagles. Like, I know something about everybody on that team pretty much already. Like,
right.
I don't need to research a ton about Nathan McKinnon. I mean, this guy is one of the greatest hockey players in the world. And I'm thankful the 2 games I did were against Colorado and Buffalo. And I'm thankful they were in the order they were, with the Avs game first, because that's a team that's really good. So it's a great game to start with. And also a team that I know a ton about. Whereas the Sabres, they have some younger players that, without researching specifically for that game, I wouldn't really have had much on. But for the Avs, it's really a mix of basically their team is basically entirely young superstars and like established veterans who are now a part of this great team. So it was a team that I knew well, and I would go as far to say that, since I've really only done college and high school sports, it's when I've done a quote unquote team broadcast. Like some of the broadcasts I do are neutral broadcasts of high school football, where I'm not a home broadcaster. But for college sports, like, there's only so much you can know about an opposing college baseball team in some scenarios.
Right.
you can't have something on every guy other than this is their batting average, this is how many games they've started, etc. But the Colorado Avalanche is the opposing team that I have known the most about by far. So going into a big broadcast like that with that kind of as a boost was, I think, underratedly helpful.
Well, you also get a guy like Hal Gill next to you, who's a great broadcaster, played many years in the NHL, to help you out. And Hal's just a fantastic individual.
Yeah.
That had to be a big bonus too, as well, Max, having a guy like Hal sit right next to you.
Yeah, Hal is the best. He could not have treated me better throughout all of this. And obviously, I have a relationship with Hal from how much he does at 102.5 The Game. But being able to be in the big chair with him was a dream come true, especially because I watched him play during his NHL career when he was on the Penguins. And I was actually in the building in Detroit when he won his only Stanley Cup for the Penguins in June 2009. So really special person, and independently of that, an unbelievably good hockey broadcaster. I'm glad the Preds, there are probably a lot of fans who watch on TV more than they listen on radio, obviously, and I'm glad those TV fans get to see Hal as much as they do now during the intermissions and the pregame, and filling in a couple of weeks ago when Mace had COVID too. So, Hal is as good as it gets. We are really lucky to have him here. I know there have been national networks that have wanted him, and for good reason, and he's happy doing what he's doing. And I was happy to be alongside him for 2 nights and become an honorary certified bag chucker.
Nice. We did a whole segment to explain what that means. I was looking at that picture giving you, Max, of holding the notes and everything. I was going to say, it looks like, if it had been me, I'd been holding like a Bible for inspiration. When you're up there so high, do you watch the monitor or do you watch what's going on the ice?
For these games, I did not watch the monitor at all. I also did not really have a monitor next to me. We had one monitor that was on the other side of Hal. But I think for hockey, you kind of need to be, there's the monitor. So I was in that chair that's empty in the picture, and then the TV's on the other side. But I think for hockey, there's a lot going on that isn't in the TV picture. But when I am doing TV broadcasts, and I've never done hockey TV, obviously, just because there isn't a lot of hockey on TV here other than the Preds, I will look at the monitor sometimes because I don't want to miss something that the viewers are going to see that I'm not going to see, whether it's like cutting to a tight shot and seeing somebody mouth something or something in the corner or whatever it is. And also for sports like baseball, depending on exactly what's going on, like when a pitch is thrown, you may have a better view of the movement of that pitch from the monitor than you do in real life.
Well, also, Max, let me ask you this, kind of a personal question. You've been trying to get to this level for play-by-play and do things. How frustrating is it, or is it frustrating, trying to battle to get to the next level? I mean, not talking NHL, but to get that full-time play-by-play job, because they're not posted on LinkedIn every day.
Yeah, it's a lot of networking, which I don't know if it's fair to say I'm not good at. I don't know. I mean, you and I have had hundreds of conversations in the 7-8 years we've known each other now, and like I'm not very good at transactional conversations. Like I just kind of want to shoot the breeze and do what you do on this show a lot and do it well. And I don't know, I'm bad at asking people for stuff. And that's a lot of it, is saying, hey, keep me in mind for this, kind of selling yourself a little bit, which is like, if I'm asked about it, which is what's going on in this entire interview, I'm more than happy to talk about myself, but I'm not really going to lead with it unless I feel like I should or have to. So for a situation like this, I advocated for myself kind of in advance at the right time. And that's something I have to do more of and make myself available. But I am very available and I'm always looking for more. So it's something you kind of always have to think about.
Good for you. It's funny. I turned into the broadcast. I had no idea you were doing it. I'm like, I knew Pete was out. And I said, that guy's doing a pretty good job. I had no idea that was you. Some kind of friend I am, huh?
At least you didn't say, oh, Pete sounds good today.
Oh, man. Max, man, I'm so proud of you for this. This is great because
thanks, Joe.
All too often people want their dreams, and then when it happens, they're like, oh, my God, it's happening. But you've embraced it, and you've done a great job. And your dedication to high school football, My TV 30, and the great job you do there, it just continues on. Congratulations, brother. Nothing but success. And when you become big time, remember us.
Thanks, Joe. You're the man. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Max. Max Hers calling the hockey game the other night. Again, the doorbell rang. It was his dream, and he answered, and he did a fantastic job. And that's what we like to do on the show, promote the positivity and the good things. All right, we'll take a break, come back. One of our favorite people, the magician, Jason Michaels, joins us next. If you have not seen this guy, oh, baby, He's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
Stadium. It's raining out there. Of course, we're in our palatial studios in an undisclosed location. And guys are doing fantastic. Well done on your commute in today. Guys are the best. All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. As we do every Wednesday at 7:30. Let's bring in our good friend Jason Michaels, the magician who bewilders us every week. And Jason, last week I was checking the boxes of people watching and commenting, and you did the card trick. So many people had the word amaze. If you missed it last week, but so many people had the word amaze. I was going down there, and they're like, "How did he do that?" I'm like, I watched the entire. I have no idea how he did it. So well done, my friend.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I was hoping that it would be sort of like after the fact, like we find out it happened to everybody. So that's really cool. It's funny what you were talking to Max about stepping up and taking the opportunity when the opportunity arises. One of my very first gigs as a magician, I worked for another magician named Brett Daniels, who had a multi-million-dollar illusion show in Tunica, Mississippi years ago. And I got a job working for him backstage. And I show up the first day and they say, shadow this guy. This is the guy you're taking the place of. So I make all these notes and I pay very close attention of all my jobs backstage and whatnot. And then the dude disappears the next day. He is gone. And they're like, you were supposed to train for 2 weeks.
Was that part of an act?
Yeah, no, it was not part of an act. He was done. He was like, I am out. And they said, well, what are we going to do? And I said, guys, I got this. And so ultimately what ended up happening was, I don't know if it was just the fact that I was young and a little bit cocky, but I mean, I stepped up and the show, it didn't miss a beat. And like, that was like what cemented me in that crew for the next 2 years and helped me kind of get started as a magician, to be honest with you.
Well, and that's great because you prepare your whole life for that one moment. You never know when that one moment's going to happen, and then it happens, and then you're prepared. I know it sounds trite, but that's exactly like Max was talking about, and you as well. When the moment comes, shine, baby, just shine.
Yeah, don't be scared of it. Dive into it. Go deep.
All right. So, when's your next show coming up?
Okay, so I'm actually doing a private event this week. I'm out of town, but the next show is next Saturday, which I believe is the 29th. So Saturday, the 29th, January 29th, we've got a great show scheduled. It is at the filming station, which is where my show currently is residing. Now, I'll be honest with you, if you've ever seen this before, you know that the show only holds about 30 people. It's a very intimate venue. And we've sold quite a few tickets. So now if you want to see the show, now is time to jump on those getting those tickets now.
Look at that. Look at the young Jason Michaels right there.
That's the Jason Michaels with more hair.
I know the feel, brother. I know the feeling there. Nashville's premier magician. Again, we've talked about that each and every week, and I just think the intimate settings that you have over there are really cool because of what that word means, intimate, and to see it up close. I know I'd prefer that better than I know you've played every arena possible. I just think these are really cool.
Well, I do my best to get everybody involved in the show. Even if you're just involved from your seat, like I want everybody in that audience to feel like they were in some way. I know not everybody wants to stand up in front of a group, and so I get that, and you don't have to, but I want you to feel as though you were part of the show. I want you to feel as though the magic happened directly to you.
Fantastic. All right. So you blow our mind everywhere each week. And so what do you got for us this week?
So it's interesting. Years ago, it's been a strange couple of years with all the stuff going on out in the world. And years ago, when I was a kid, I was going through a tough time, and this guy shared this really great piece of wisdom with me. And then what ended up happening is I created a piece of magic around this little piece of wisdom. And this piece of magic just uses a piece of thread. It uses 2 hands, 10 fingers, a piece of thread, and a little bit of magic. Now, as we travel along our paths of life, we hope and pray that our lives will be unbroken strands of joyful moments, positive emotions, and uplifting experiences. The miracle of childbirth, your first car, the satisfaction of a job well done, or the excitement of love. However, as we have learned, sometimes life is broken. And it is broken by situations and experiences and emotions that disrupt the lives we hope for. It's broken by shame and tragedy and all sorts of terrible things that happen in the world. But this is the reason that I do magic, because magic brings hope. And ultimately, that is what this person who shared this little piece of wisdom with me, ultimately, that's what they told me. They were talking about hope, and they said the following. They said, hope. Let me fuse those back on the piece there. Hope can help us to see the invisible, to feel the intangible, to achieve the impossible, and hope can help restore our lives back to the way we want them.
Okay. All right.
There you go. What do you think, Joe? That one was just for you.
I watched this thing closer than I did the Zapruder film, and I looked at Intern halfway through. I was like, "What? I can't." Intern, are you as confused as I am?
So that was one string that you broke up.
Yep.
And then you put it. Okay. No. Was it like glue? Glue to the.
He's not going to tell
you. I've got special glue fingers. That's what the glue fingers. That's, here's what's funny. Okay, so you saw that. So I do this piece in my show where, and I'm not going to give the whole thing up, but I do this piece of the show where I levitate something, and it happens towards the end of the show, and there's this object, and it's levitating right in front of the entire audience. And people always come up to me and want to share their theories, and I always love it. Like, I love it because my favorite theory that I hear all the time is they say, "You've got magnets in your shoes," and I'm like, "Oh." Yeah, because you can really control magnets the way they levitate things. I definitely have special magnet shoes.
I have a question. What's like the most cleverest heckle you've gotten before?
The cleverest heckle. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a tough question. Okay, you know what's so I I do this trick in the show where I have a deck, some playing cards, and I ask the person to put them on they put them on their chair and then sit on them. And and the idea is that it will now be impossible for me to get to these cards. It's impossible without committing assault. It can't happen. I can't do it. So what happens is I look at the guy. I say, now he's sitting on the cards. I say, did you put them on the right side or the left side? And the guy goes, they're in the middle. And I go, oh no. That's great.
You're like, work with me here, guy.
And I said, you can keep those cards. They're yours.
Right. Has anybody ever come up after the show and properly guessed what is done? And if they do you tell them or do you say maybe?
Okay, so this actually happened last week. I had a guy come up to me. So after the show, I love to talk to people. I love to chat and whatnot. And this guy walks up to me kind of after the fact. I've talked to everybody and folks are leaving. And this guy kind of comes up and he gets really quiet. He looks over his shoulder to make sure there's nobody nearby. And he goes, I think I figured out blah, blah, blah. And he says, will you tell me? And I said, well, as a magician, I can't really tell you how the tricks are done because I have to protect the experience of magic. And he goes, and then he rephrases his question and goes, but will you tell me? And I'm like, all right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you, if you get it right, I'll tell you, or if you get it close to right, I'll tell you that you're going in the right direction. But I'm not going to tell you if you got it exactly right because I don't want to,
sure.
Part of magic is I understand that people like to know how stuff works and I get it. And I'm that guy too. But the reason magicians don't tell their secrets is because all we're trying to do is make sure we just protect that beautiful moment in time when something feels amazing.
Well, that's exactly right. And so what's great, that guy probably went home and he's like, I got it figured out. But in the back of his mind, there was that doubt of like, yeah, but maybe. And so that probably kept him up for a week or two. And you win that one, Jason.
That's the goal.
Right. Yeah, because I'm trying to give people sleepless nights. That's my goal.
You got this one guy. All right. So private event this week, next week, back at the filming station. Private events, I think, got to be fun.
You know what? Private events are fun. I worked a 60th surprise birthday party last week, and we had, and it actually was that was the guy who was sitting on the cards, and they're super fun because what ends up happening is you have a group of people and they're going to eat something, they're going to visit, they're going to tell some funny stories, and then ultimately, what's the big thing that they're going to do? And having a magician come to your event ultimately is so unique and so different that it creates these memories that people end up, and I can say this because I've heard people tell me this, people end up talking about this for years because I mean, you don't run into magicians every day. It's not like a common occurrence. So yeah, private events. I have a blast with private events because I love to make people laugh and I love to show them cool stuff. And so absolutely.
There's a comedian talks about he did a private event down in Florida, and the day he did the private event was the day they laid off half the company. And they didn't tell him about it. So he's trying to tell jokes and half the company gets laid off. He's like, people are wandering in and out of the room that he was doing, trying to do comedy and nobody was laughing. He's like, God, maybe I picked the wrong career choice. And like, yeah, well, this got an email. Half the company is laid off. So hopefully that does not happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, the worst, it was a fun gig sort of, but it was a tough gig at the beginning because right before, this was not the one I just did, this was a little while ago. I did a gig where the guy walks up and tells a story about somebody dying. And then he goes, and now our entertainment, Jason Michaels. I was like, what? You just told the story about this beloved member of the community dying and now you want some entertainment?
Oh my God, man, you're the best. We love you, man. And we'll have you next week. We'll continue promoting your events at the filming station. Thank you, Jason.
Have a good one, Joe. Take care.
All right, Jason Michaels, mysteryandillusions.com. Just fantastic. I mean, the things he's shown us in the few weeks he's been on here, unbelievable. And the intern is still scratching his head. Not sure what happened, just like me. All right, we'll take a break, come back. A very special thing happening down in Rutherford County that I want you guys to know about that's really touching a lot of hearts. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits. Because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. A little traffic off the T-Dot Smartway camera, I-40. East of Jefferson Street. You guys doing good. Just over by Tennessee State. Well done, everybody. I know the road's a little slick today because of the wintry weather coming in. So stay safe and be careful as we do on this Wednesday. All right, back here live at Mornings on Main Street. And get my camera up there. Boom, everybody. Welcome back here. All right, so a few weeks ago, there's a Facebook group that I found out about down in Rutherford County called Love Her Well that really looks to help single moms who are going through having trouble paying the bills, having problems maintenance, or just need prayers. And so many people have rallied around this group and helped out and have put smiles on so many faces. And there's a special event that's going on in a few weeks. We want to help promote that for all the great work they're doing now. Let's bring in, I hope I say your name correctly, Shanithia Stickler. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. Thank you.
How are you, ma'am? Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Did I explain Love Her Well Facebook group pretty good?
Yes, you did. And while it is a group for single moms, or I guess we could say single parents, because there are single dads out there too, it's also a group of people that are in the community that want to help single parents. And so, you know, part of it is I have found myself being in the group. I'm in a new season of life, unfortunately, going through a divorce. But I don't like to call myself a single parent because I'm a co-parent, but I'm in the group to get advice and support and prayers. And when I just need someone to, you know, vent, there are all these women there. And that's the other part that Heather wants to bring into the group. She wants this to be a village. She wants this to be a support system, not just for when moms, parents, single parents need assistance with bills or food or, you know, helping with, you know, a broken down car. She wants it to be a place of support, like a village for people. And so, you know, I'm there for that, as well as to give back and support in ways that I can. And when I came up with the idea about, I just want to do something for these moms for Valentine's Day. Like, I want to have something nice. And Heather was like, oh my goodness, I've been wanting to do the same thing. I just didn't, you know how to figure it out. And I was like, yeah, I can book Patterson Park and we can, you know, do all these things. And she was like, yes, I love it. And so that's something that is near and dear to my heart. I want to be able to put on certain events for these moms, even going as far as giving, you know, parents' night out where they can drop their kids off totally free for a few hours and just go out and, you know, even if they just go home for a few hours, sit, you know, just to get a break, you know.
I love it. I again, when I found out about the group, and I love the fact that Heather and you guys not everybody can just join this group because you want to protect a lot of people that's in the group that are going through some tough things. And that caught my eye immediately, Shanithia, because I'm thinking, what a great way, because you truly care about people and what they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, the name of the group, Heather came up with that, Love Her Well. And it's actually, part of it is from the story in the Bible where the woman at the well meets Jesus. And, you know, of course, we take that part where he says, you know, you've had 5 husbands. And a lot of people can look at that and think that he was, you know, maybe, you know, bashing her, but we all know Jesus. That's not what he was doing. He was actually telling her, you've been looking for love in all the wrong places. And I want you to, now that you have met me, you know what love is. And I want you to go and share that. And so that's what Heather wants in this group. She wants women to come to this group and know that they are loved and that they are loved well. And so when she told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to share that, because I think that is beautiful about the name of the group, because that's what we all want. We want to feel a part of something, and we want to, you know, we want to be loved. And I think a lot of the women, when you go through the page and you just read just the gratitude and the gratefulness for so many women in the group, it is exactly what we need in this time that we're in our lives. This group is what we need. And we need the community to help with this event to make it go off well for these moms. We don't want the moms participating and giving any to this. And I yes, I'm a mom and I'm doing it and I'm setting it up, but I'm in a different, even though I'm a part of this group, I feel like I'm a part of it in a different way, and I want to be able to give. And so we are reaching out to you, the community, and asking for help. And the ways that we are wanting help is we are looking for possibly local restaurant to donate the food. We are looking for decorations to decorate the dining hall that we've rented. We are looking for just small little gifts, maybe to give the children, or chocolates for the moms. We talked about, another mom and I in the group, we talked about maybe having a comedian come in, but after watching John Michaels before me, we would love for him to come.
Well, I'll put a bug in his ear then. Yeah, he would love. We'll figure out some way to get him down there.
Yeah, that would be great. The kids would love that. I was sitting here mesmerized by his string trick. I was like, how did he just do that?
I do it every week, and it's beautiful. And so if people want to help out, do they contact the group on Facebook? What's the easiest way to get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so it would be great if they reached out to Heather, if they just private message her through the group and say, hey, our restaurant wants to support this event, or, you know, Michael's or Joann's or whoever, Dollar Tree, we want to give all the decorations. You know, if they just go to the group and private message Heather, that would be amazing. And then she'll get back with me, because I'm the one doing the work as far as putting the event together and setting all of that up. So yes, definitely private message Heather. If you just want to send, you know, a monetary donation or even a gift card to somewhere, we are willing to accept, you know, whatever you can give. And we're also trying to figure out how to get all these moms there, you know, that sign up, because some of them don't have a car. And while I would love to be the chauffeur and just go and drive and pick up moms and kids, I'll be busy, you know, at the venue, putting things together and making sure things go off without any issues or anything. So, ride share or something like that. You know, I was telling Heather, I wish I could rent a party bus. Right. You know, that would be something fun to do for these moms that, you know, work so hard. They work hard for their children, you know, and these moms are not just, you know, these are moms. We have nurses in the group and teachers and, you know, dental hygienists and managers of stores, but they're in a season of life where it's just them and their kiddos, and they are needing that support. And we want to show them love on this day, nationally celebrated Day of Love.
Beautiful. We'll help you get the word out as much as we can and contact many people we can for what this beautiful event's going on. It's fantastic. And you hit upon it just a moment ago about reading the Facebook page, the gratitude when somebody needs something, and people, and Heather Shepard does a great job of controlling that page and making sure the money goes where it needs to be. Y'all are angels. So, and I tell you, as a young man who grew up with a single mom, didn't have a lot, and this group touches my heart in a lot of ways. So thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. And same for me. I grew up single mom. And so, you know, I have raised my daughters to volunteer and to give back, and we are always giving back. And so, again, now being in that situation, it's one of those things where I just want to make sure, I'm a part of this community, and I want to give back as much as I can to this community and support.
Fantastic. Shanithia, thank you so much. We'll have you on a week before, and we'll keep promoting the event, and I'll call a few favors, and we'll see what we can do.
Wonderful. We appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. The Facebook page again is Love Her Well. You go there, and not everybody gets in. I mean, obviously, because they want to keep a lot of this private, but it's a fantastic group. And thank you, Sean Lee, for pointing me in that direction of this wonderful group that does amazing things in our community. God bless each and every one of you. All right. We'll come back. It's time for celebrity birthdays. That's next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. Where you are right now? You can have it now.
All right, welcome back to the final segment, Mornings on Main Street. Looking at Ellington Parkway, coming into town. Y'all are doing good, man. I like this. You guys do a fantastic job in the traffic. Again, thank you to Shanithia Stickler with Love Her Well, the Facebook group in Rutherford County. If you want to help out, just find that Facebook group. Just type in Love Her Well. It'll be parentheses Rutherford County, and see the great work they're doing down there. And I'm a member of the group to help out, and then see when bills get paid, and when cars get fixed, and when people pray for somebody, because it's not all about the money. It is why social media is around in the good way. So perfect. Okay, intern, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
You good for this? You were awful yesterday, celebrity birthdays.
I was, but bounce back.
All right, let's go. All right, if you don't get this one, then you're not a true Tennessean. Dolly Parton's birthday. How old is the great Dolly Parton?
Man, she's got to be like 21 now. I'll say.
Good answer.
I'll say she is 81 today.
76.
Okay.
We'll give you a little break.
Thank you.
All right. Katie Seagal from she was in Married with Children. Peg Bundy. How old is she?
Let's go 34.
The show was popular in the 80s.
See, I thought Seagal, maybe Steven Seagal's daughter.
No, it's spelled completely different. She's 68.
Okay. 68.
Actor Sean Wayans.
Anything you'd know, or I would know?
He was in Living Color, which debuted in 1989.
Okay, so we'll go 69.
51. Drea Di Matteo. Was she in The Sopranos?
She might have been.
She was. She was the one that got, I was going to say she's the one that got killed. They all got killed. Stupid. I'm sorry.
I'll say she is 48.
50.
Boom,
Got
baby.
them too. Proud of you, man.
Thanks,
oh, Nashville native. Lives here now. Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson East. It was Shawn Johnson when she was winning the gold medal.
Not
Gymnast.
Okay. Let's do 29.
30. Well done, intern. Solid, man. Actress Tippi Hedren. Her daughter is Jamie Lee Curtis. No, is that right? Yes.
What a name.
Janet
Tippy.
Lee? No, that's not right. No, Tippi Hedren was in The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay.
Just forget what I said. How old is Tippi Hedren?
I know that movie though, The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock. It was filmed at Bodega Bay. Goodness gracious. Let's go.
Lord.
78.
92. TV chef Paula Deen.
Fan favorite. She is probably 68.
75. Comedian Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez is 42.
67. Actor Paul McCrane. He was the mean doctor in ER that nobody liked, little short bald guy.
I never watched it, but I think I can get it from that. I can get his age from that. Let's do 61.
61, exactly. And let's end it with comedian Frank Caliendo. How old is the great comedian?
I'm going to say he is 44.
48. Well done, buddy.
Hey, thanks, man.
You got some ones in there.
I appreciate it.
Well done. All right. Again, thanks to Max Hers, Jason Michaels, and Shanithia Stickler for joining us this morning on Mornings on Main Street, bringing you positivity and good news around Middle Tennessee, which we so desperately need each and every single day. Intern, have a good day, brother. We'll see you tomorrow. And again, when you go out today, it's going to be wintry. It's going to be a little wet, a little messy. Be nice, smile, open doors, let people in traffic. Remember, nobody cares about your CrossFit workout unless altogether you're doing it for charity. And always remember, nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.